to the interview room. Muzzy checking in, the time's here. How you all doing? All right, let's begin. Let's have a chat about the fact that I want to interview the best fighters in the world, and that's that. Had a lot of guests from everywhere, all across the globe. Fighters tell me about the journey.
G'day everyone, Muzzy here from Muay Thai Interviews again. As we're approaching the end of the year, only a couple more fight shows happening, getting to the business end before it's all a bit of play and festive season. So my next guest, I'm excited to have a chat with him. He trains out of Beast Fight Club in Victoria, Australia. He's really stamped his mark this year in his weight division, being a regular and a fan favourite on Rebellion Muay Thai with his walk-forward aggressive style, leaving it all in the ring. I'm joined by Corey Barrett, or Baz as he likes to be called. How are you, Baz?
How are you, mate? Thanks
I'm
for
good.
having me on.
No, mate, thank you. And not only do you like to be called Baz, I see that you've also been given the nickname the Broomstick when you fight. So how did that all come about?
The Broomstick nickname, that just came from around the gym. I think Ray Damatsky, one of the boys there, he felt that I resembled a broomstick, tall, skinny, and it kind of fit in with my last name, Broomstick Barrett. It kind of flows, so
Yeah,
I was happy with it. It's not scary, but I'm not a scary, guy, so I don't need a scary fight name. So
I think the mullet also gives that nice little twang
haha, it
to it as
does.
well.
Yeah, it does, sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
just picture turning you upside down and mopping the ring with it. It's all
Mopping the
good.
floor with it, yeah.
So how long have you been training Muay Thai for, and how did you get started?
I'm a bit older, obviously. I'm just turned 30. I've been training for the last 4.5 to 5 years consistently.
Yep.
Um, I did a little stint with Dion Douglas back at XFC, maybe 2011, 12.
Hmm.
Just trained with him for about 12 months. Had a big layoff, just went through some times, and then, yeah, got back into it for the last 4.5 years, and just been trying to go strong.
Yeah, and so was fighting something that you knew you always wanted to do, or sort of was it just a progression over time?
Well, at a young age, so I moved out of home when I was 16, um, into a boarding house in Dandenong. So I kind of had to kind of grow up at an early age, and I was always going to house parties and, hanging out there, doing the troublesome stuff. And
Yeah.
I was always in fights. Like I necessarily wasn't the one starting them, but
Yeah.
I definitely held my own because I got picked on because I don't look scary. I look like a tall, skinny dork. So I was fighting, and I've been in many of street fights. And then I just thought to myself, hang on, I'm half good at this. Why don't I give it an actual go, like
Yeah.
a proper go? So that's what I did. I thought, hey, hang on, let's give this a go, and that's what I'm doing.
So how did you make the choice to move from where you were before XFC gym to Beast Fight Club where you are now?
All right, so I just like with Dion, it didn't it didn't work. Maybe it was my age at the time. I was a bit younger, but I just didn't like to be told what to do. Where now I can be told what to do and I'll do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Tom Gavakol, who does all the video footage for Rebellion, his cousin Jake, I'm good mates with. He just asked me to come do some sparring rounds. He was fighting boxing. He goes, "I come to Beast, you'll like it." He took me down there. I got introduced to Bowie, and man, just never left. Just knew straight away that that was gonna be my spot, and I just went back every day for the last 4.5 years.
And the
Back
rest.
then, back then they were drinking beers after training and everything, and I'm like, oh, this is me, you know what I mean? But then when I started there, and just haven't drank as much as I used to back in the old days, so it sort of cleaned me up a bit and put me on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, I know you love to have a few beers because I used to be like that too, and I was also I used to like watching your one of the rebellions you fought Jimmy Sitmanchai, and one of the questions they ask you is you were like, I'm more excited about after the fight so I can actually sit down and have a couple of beers.
You do, man. Like I do look forward. Like I love the process of going out for your meal after your weigh-in with the boys. You know what I mean? Like it's just all bonding. I love that stuff.
Yeah,
The fight, the fight's grouse as well, but afterwards where you're like, thank God that it's over. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
then you can just live like a normal person for a bit until the next camp. But yeah, it's a bit like that. I just love knowing that there's something on the horizon.
Yeah, that you've worked so hard for 6 or 8 weeks or 4 weeks, however long your camp is. You've dedicated everything to it, and then afterward you can just let your hair back down.
Let your hair down, yeah, and everyone does it. Like, there's some people out there that don't, but if you've worked that hard, you deserve to want to let your hair down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And are you the kind of guy that after you have a big fight, do you like to take a week or two off, or do you like to be
Yeah,
straight back in
yeah.
the
I'll
gym?
just I do get bored, but I do take a week off, 1 week off. I still go to my yoga and stuff and do a little bit here and there because it's good for recovery. But yeah, get away from the gym for a week because you've been there twice a day every day for 6 weeks.
Yeah,
You need to get away, and then when I come back, I'm re-energized and feeling good, ready to go again.
yeah, and want to lose those extra couple of kilos you put on.
Yes, definitely. You start to lose your abs after the week, and you're like, oh, I've got to get back to the gym.
Yeah. Now, you probably wouldn't remember this, but we briefly met in Chiang Mai last year at Hong Kong. Can you tell us a bit about your time there and what you got up to?
Yeah, so I did the whole bucket list thing, like the fighting in the motherland, fighting in Thailand. I do travel a lot, so I've been to over 40 countries, and I travel regularly. I wanted to go to Thailand to have a fight, and I did that. I fought in Phuket out of Rawai Muay Thai for my first fight,
Yep.
and then I was just traveling up north, and I just I was always training while I was traveling. I have to keep motivated, just a person that needs to be doing something.
Yep.
Um, and then I just started training at Hong Kong, and they asked me if I wanted to fight in a couple of days, and I said, "Oh yeah, okay, let's do it." And I love Joe. Joe Hong Kong Noi is like JB. He's like Bowie. They are so similar. He's like the Thai version of JB. So fighting for him was awesome. Um, it was a little bit scary. I didn't see my opponent till we were walking out there, and he probably had about 25 kilos on me. Um, and he hit like a truck. But I beat him. Dropped him with an elbow in the fourth, and that was a good night. So it was really good.
It's
Two fights for 2 wins in Thailand. So I was pretty happy about that.
yeah, it's good, and the fact that you can just fight so much when you're over there, it's
Yeah.
really good as well. So how was that experience, and have you got any plans to head back to the motherland anytime soon?
The experience was amazing. I I love their training. It is quite repetitive, but they're long sessions. But in the heat, they're good. Do a lot of running. Um, I've been to Thailand about 15 separate times, and I'll always be going back and forth. I don't make plans
Yeah,
that often. I'll spontaneously want to go or something like that. But I'm pushing to JB. I'm asking JB. I want to fight Letway in Burma. So that's something that's on my bucket list,
yep,
or I get too old. You know what I mean?
yep, definitely.
Yes, really something I want to tick off. So we're hoping to look into it this year, next year, sorry.
Yep,
I reckon it'd be good.
yeah, wicked, mate, absolutely. And this year you've kept yourself really busy. You've taken fights that come your way. Your last fight, that was so your second last fight, being your last one that was on Rebellion. You fought for a state title. I thought you were extremely unlucky not to get the nod on that one. But one thing I noticed, you had a lot of success going in, leading with that lead uppercut against Carter. Was that the game plan?
Um, it wasn't really a game plan until the fight sort of started, and then he is so bloody tall, man. Like I'm tall at welterweight, and he's just huge. He's so long, and you think you're out of his distance, and then he just kicks you, and it's like, what do I do?
Yeah.
So we call that a Dutchie. I don't know if anyone else calls it a Dutchie, but it's like, yeah, it's sort of like an uppercut, but it's a long version of it.
Yeah.
And that was just to get me in, and because I just wanted to elbow his face off. That's all I wanted to do. So it was to get me in, and then once I was in there, I was happy, you know what I mean? Because I wasn't able to get kicked or nothing.
Yeah.
It was a disappointing end to it. I did think I did enough. I put the pressure on for 5 rounds, but I took it on the chin. I took the loss like a man, and it is what it is. It's one in the bank. That, yeah, what can you do now, really?
That being said, though, it was a hell of a fight. So, what positives did you take away from that fight with Carter?
Um, not too much, to be honest. The probably the biggest positive, I took what I thought was a win, and yeah, obviously I got the loss, but I just had to take it like a man and just keep going forward, and that was a gorgeous belt, and I wanted it so bad, and you can't. It shows you don't get everything you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, so
definitely.
yeah, I didn't take a lot out of it. I now know how to fight a taller, because obviously I'm very tall when I fight at 65. So, and then I had to fight him, and he was fucking so much taller than me. So now I know how to go about fighting a taller bloke. So that'd be one good thing that come out of it.
Well, definitely a fan of your aggressive style. The fact that you love to throw elbows, it's quite a never a boring fight with people that like to throw elbows.
Yeah.
Is that what your gym prides itself on? That aggressive walk forward style?
Um, so Johnny, he doesn't really. He makes like you go about your business, and he'll fine tune you. But so when I come to him, I started using elbows like straight away. So I've never fought Mod Thai ever or nothing like that. So he just lets you run with what you feel and good with.
Yeah,
And I'm rangy with long arms, so the elbows are, going to be something I'm really, really happy to throw.
and
But I struggled in the early days. I just always thought they were heavy. You know what I mean?
the
Like yeah,
elbows.
I just felt I'd always come back in between rounds and go, my arms just feel so heavy. I can't throw them. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I'm slowly getting better and better at it.
yeah, especially like when ties when they love to kick your forearms as well, so it makes it harder
Yeah,
to throw
that's it.
punches and especially the people that don't understand it, like when they see someone kicking forearms, they're like, "Oh, he's kicking his forearms." Like, yeah, but if you get a few kicks that they hurt and they
Starts to slow you down a bit,
starts to slow
yeah.
you down and your guard drops, and then that's when head kicks and everything else
Yeah,
can come in.
100%.
And one thing I wanted to ask is, given that you're self-employed, how do you juggle work with training?
Yeah, I've been self-employed for over 10 years now.
So what do you do?
And
Can I just quickly ask, what do you do?
yeah, I'm a plasterer by trade.
Yeah,
So I do new housing, and pretty much I'm contracted to a big mob. So I've got, ongoing work, but it's all about I can finish early, I can start later, I can just sort of do what I want really. So with fight putting like with fight camps and stuff, I can work around that. There's no problem. That's what I'm happy about. I do work hard, and I'm lucky. I feel like I'm lucky that I have so much energy and stuff, and I can do a full day, 8 to 10 hours of work, and then go straight to training and still be fine.
yeah.
I don't know if everyone's the same, but I can do that, and I've done that for however long, and it's just natural. You know what I mean?
So you're your own boss basically.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
And I just contract to a bigger mob, so yeah.
So it all works out and fits in when you've got fight camp and all that sort of stuff.
Oh,
You felt well too.
I'll just, if I'm like the lead up to the Carter Lawrence fight, because it was such a big fight for a WBC state title, I just took a month off. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I can do that, because I'm a subby, as to speak. So I just took the month off with the fight just after the one October the 19th that I just fought in South Australia. I took maybe 2 days off a week,
Yep.
and just got some recovery in and stuff like that on those days. So I can do anything really. Just it's good being a tradie like that.
I want to ask you a hypothetical here. Say if you didn't have such flexible working hours that you have now, and that you've been able to go out and chase your dreams and chase your goals and rack up the fights. If one had to give, what would it be?
Between
Like so,
work and fighting.
correct. Yep.
Well, I can't seem to walk away from fighting yet, so it would definitely be work, mate.
Yeah.
100%. Like, and I've taken a lot of load off working wise at the moment. Just after the last financial year, I've taken a lot of load off, and I'm, less stressed and I'm more happy. And it's for now, it's just fighting, fighting, fighting. Nothing comes first but that. Not
Okay.
even women. I can't even. I'm struggling to find a woman. You know what I mean?
Mate, you're gonna have a lot of money. Don't worry about that. And retire early. Um,
Yeah.
so then, in saying that, what would a typical run us through a typical day when you're in a fight camp? So when you're in the last couple of weeks and you really got to knuckle down, what would a normal day be for you?
Just say leading up to the Carter Lawrence fight, I would do maybe so strength in the morning, say 9:30,
Yep.
and then I'd go back for pad work and stuff in the afternoon, and then every second day I'd throw a bit of swimming in and yoga as well. I do Bikram yoga pretty heavily because I've got a little bit of a inflammation issue in my spinal cord, just a
Yep.
genetic disease. I need to consistently get to me Bikram to keep me flexible and stuff like that.
Yep.
Old guy problems, you know what I mean? But yeah, so swimming, yoga, and my strength and my pad rounds, sort of that's like a day. Split them up so you're not doing too much of one, and yeah, it's happy days.
Awesome. And you've got some good sparring partners, well, obviously, because you've been doing well.
Yeah, just none of them at all, man.
Yeah.
Well, Reef is one of my most solid sparring partners now, and he's my height and he's a bit heavier, so it's been good. But prior to him, coming on board, I've always sparred short people. So then when I go to fight a tall guy, it's tough. But yeah, I get out and train with Ramesh every now and then, so that's always great.
Oh yeah,
But
definitely, mate. That
yeah,
that will only do improve your game tenfold training with that guy.
yeah, it just even Indigo sort of closing the book chapter on his fight career. That he was great sparring, like he was a wizard, and me being able to spar him in the early days, I think he brought me up, my skill level up so much. Not being able to spar him now sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And speaking of fight camps, you were meant to be fighting on the last rebellion on November 30th. Can you tell us why you had to withdraw from that fight?
Yeah, so my fight October 19, I fought Tim Mitchell from Western Australia. We fought on the Border Town show. Um, he hit me with a beautiful spinning elbow right on the button. I got 12 stitches and a couple of loose teeth. The teeth have been pushed up and fixed with a metal plate, but um, I got the no go from the dentist the other day to whether or not they were healed for me to get back into training. So it was no go, and I wanted to push to be able to fight so bad because you just want to come back from a loss like that. Like you hear people talk like, oh, he'll walk away from it now. That's a bad loss. That's not
Mm.
me. Like I want to get back in as soon as I can to show that that doesn't discourage me. But doctor's orders. I spoke to Sai. He was happy. He's more worried about my well-being than anything, and Johnny was happy too. So we're still just hitting the training pretty hard, and I think late February or early March will be first fight. It's a while, but and I'm going to have withdrawals, but it is what it
Yeah.
is.
Excellent, excellent, mate. So I was going to ask you what the plans for 2020, but you've already given us one, so that's awesome. Now, mate, if people
Fight, fight, fight. That's
fight,
what I
fight,
want
fight,
to do. I'm
that's
only
it.
getting older, mate.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest regrets, finding Muay Thai too late.
So what I normally do is like I'll book in a fight and then I'll literally book a holiday. So I fought June the 2nd this year, and then I flew out to China the next day. That's just what I do, man. I work hard, fight, and then go overseas for a week or two. So
Well, I mean,
that's what I want to continue to do, stress-free lifestyle.
mate, you can do it. Why not?
Yeah,
Absolutely,
that's exactly right.
absolutely, mate. And it also
I
gives you,
worked pretty hard in my younger days to sort of get to the point where I don't need to be busting my balls.
nah, and that's the way I see it, man. As long as you got enough money to pay your rent or pay the mortgage, pay the bills,
Yeah,
and put a bit of food on the table so you don't starve. You're doing all right for yourself. So you're going on holidays, even better, mate.
yeah, that's it, eh?
Um,
I do travel on a budget when I travel, like backpack, but it's still great. That's the best way to do it, I believe.
Absolutely, mate. And you're getting out of Australia and seeing other parts of
Yeah,
the world.
yeah.
Now, mate, if people want to follow you or sort of stay up to date with your fights and all that sort of thing with what's happening, how can people reach out to you?
Yeah, mate. I'm on just the Facebook under Corey Baz. I don't know why I don't have my real name, my real last name, but yeah, it's just Corey Baz. Or my Instagram is Bazzy6, Bazzy6. They're the two social medias that I'm on. I do like Instagram a bit better than Facebook, but yeah, it is what it is.
Awesome, mate. And last but not least, anyone that you like to thank or give a shout out to?
Yeah, there's a few people I'd like to thank. A couple of sponsors, Will Chan from Lavish Photo Booths. Definitely Brian and Angela from Brian's Gourmet Meats. They're fucking beautiful in fight camps. Also, Bikram Yoga Limbrook looks after me. Mick Jordan from Inner Essence Natural Therapies. He's a god. Massage is just amazing. Keeps me on track so the body doesn't fall apart. And Jake Mitchell, MitchCon, he actually just hooked me up with 6 months unlimited yoga. So all that stuff helps. You know what I mean, man? It's not cheap. Fucking yoga's not cheap. I'll tell you that.
No, definitely. What I wanted to ask you is, do you find with yoga it's really good for your hips and making your kicks a lot more snappy?
Um, well, I've got shocking hips, but it does help. Um, uh, I don't believe it does, but it does help with everything. If I do a strength training session and then the next day I do yoga, the yoga repairs me that much quicker from the strength work and you don't get as sore.
Yeah.
And just natural flexibility. Like I could barely touch my toes. Now I can, lay on the ground and put my head on my knees and stuff like that. But I still haven't got the best groins, and it doesn't open your groins, so you've got to do other stretches for that. But it's helped. And with breathing, you've got to be in the room, a yoga room, for 90 minutes straight and breathe in and out of your nose. You can't breathe out of your mouth. It's not easy, and I think that helps when you're going into a fight. Just being able to breathe in there, that's a big issue for many people, and it definitely helps with that.
Definitely. And do you find, like, because you do Bikram, it's in what, was it 40 degrees? 40?
42, yeah, 42 degrees. So it makes cutting weights so easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if I have to do a hot bath or a sauna, it's easy as, because being in that heat all the time, you're used to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And like we're talking about, the heat's better than the cold.
Oh, mate, because I got the inflammation running through the body, like the heat is the best.
Yeah. Well, awesome, brother, mate. Thank you very much for your time, and look, I hope your teeth and your mouth all heals up quick, and it'll be great to see you fighting again next year, mate. I can't wait to see you. So thanks very much for your time.
Oh, thanks, Ace, man. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
No worries, mate. Cheers.
Cheers, bro.
Lives of great warriors, revered and notorious, infamous and legendary. That to me is glorious. Come kick it, still talk some shit with me. I'll ask so you can answer and explain to me the history. I had to throw a vicious knee. I got a passion for the art of 8 limbs. I'm just asking from the heart. So as I conclude this interview, thanks so much for sitting through. Loved all the fighters and the folks that listen. This for you.